one man, multiple instruments, infinite vision. This is Stevie Wonder at the absolute peak of his creative powers, crafting an album that's both a technical masterpiece and a profound statement of Black life in America. I came for the craft, the musical virtuosity, the genius of one person doing it all. I stayed for the consciousness, the social awareness that helped shape me into the man I am today. This is Innervisions by Stevie Wonder. I need to tell you about my first encounter with Innervisions. I was already familiar with Stevie Wonder. You couldn't not be. Superstition, You Are the Sunshine of My Life, Isn't She Lovely? The hits everyone knows. But Innervisions? This was different. This was the first time I really understood what it meant for one person to have complete creative control, to be the sole driving force behind something this ambitious and complete. My first impressions were about the craft. As a fellow musician, I was fascinated with the fact that not only did Stevie write every song, he played almost every instrument. Keyboards, drums, harmonica, clavinet, synthesizers. Produced and arranged everything. The sheer scope of what one person could accomplish was staggering. It felt like a magic trick, like something that shouldn't be possible. But as time went on, as I got older and had time to sit with this album and really listen to what Stevie was saying, the social consciousness of the record revealed itself. And that's what stayed with me. This album helped shape me into the man I am today. The messages about racism, inequality, drugs, spirituality, they're not preachy or heavy-handed. They're honest, compassionate, and urgent. Still urgent, 50 years later. To help understand Innervisions, you need to understand where Stevie Wonder was in 1973. He'd just turned 23 years old. He'd been a star since he was a kid. Little Stevie Wonder with the harmonica, the Motown prodigy. But in the early 70s, something shifted. Stevie renegotiated his Motown contract to get complete creative control. No more outside producers. No being told what type of music to make. Just Stevie and his vision. The result was a quintet of albums that defined his classic period. Music of My Mind, Talking Book, Innervisions, Fulfilling Guess's first finale, and Songs in the Key of Life. Each one more ambitious than the last. And Innervisions, released in August 1973, might be the peak. 9 songs, 44 minutes, not a single wasted second. This was also the album that almost killed him. 2 months after its release, Stevie was in a near-fatal car accident that left him in a coma for 4 days. When he woke up, he couldn't smell and had partial hearing loss. But he survived, and the music he made after that, even more transcendent. For Innervisions, let's talk about the craft first, as that's what really pulls you in. Stevie Wonder playing everything on this album, that's not a gimmick. While it is a double-edged sword in a way, to have unfettered creative control without the often useful input of a producer. Innervisions is one of those rare cases where that very fact is key to understanding the sound. When one person has control over every element, the drums, the bass, the keyboards, the synths, the vocals, the harmonies, there is a cohesion that's hard to achieve any other way. Everything serves the song. Nothing's fighting for space. And the production here is simply astonishing. This is 1973, but it still sounds like it could have been made yesterday. The synthesizers Stevie uses, the now iconic Tonto synth, the Moog, the ARP, these aren't novelties. At the time, these were groundbreaking instruments of expression, adding textures and colors that didn't exist in music before this. The layered clavinet tracks on Higher Ground are one of the most iconic keyboard sounds in music history. The harmonica on Don't You Worry About a Thing is playful and joyous. Every choice feels intentional. And this is where Stevie starts really expanding in the jazz territory. But not jazz for jazz's sake, but jazz as a tool for freedom. His chord progressions are getting a little bit more sophisticated, more unexpected. His melodies go places you don't expect. There's an exploratory quality to this music. These freeform moments where Stevie just follows where the music takes him. But it's always grounded in his pop sensibilities. He never loses the accessibility, the hooks, the things that make a song stick in your head. It's freedom within structure, and that's what makes it work. But here's the thing. The craft, that's just the vehicle. The consciousness, that's the destination. I say this next part acknowledging full stop that I'm a white dude born in 1984. But Innervisions is an album about black life in America in 1973. It's about inequality and injustice. It's about spirituality and hope. It's about the temptations and dangers facing the black community. It's about survival and ultimately transcendence. Living for the City is a 7.5-minute narrative epic about a young black man from Mississippi who moves to New York seeking opportunity and ends up arrested and imprisoned in a system designed to destroy him. That middle section, the spoken word interlude where you hear him get arrested, is devastating. But Stevie doesn't preach. He just shows you what is actually happening and lets you draw your own conclusions. Higher Ground is a spiritual funk about reincarnation and striving for something better. It's hopeful despite everything. A reminder that we keep fighting, keep evolving, and keep reaching. Don't You Worry About a Thing is joyous and Latin influenced, a celebration of culture and resiliency. Yet woven throughout are these moments of vulnerability and beauty. Golden Lady, All in Love is Fair, that remind you Stevie's not just making political music. He's making human music. Music about love and loss and longing. This album doesn't hit you over the head with this message, however. It invites you in with its music, and then once you're there, it shows you the world through Stevie's eyes. And if you're paying attention, it changes you. It changed me. Now we get to the song Spotlight for this album, and I'm going with Too High. Maybe not the most obvious choice, but to me, this is really what encapsulates Innervisions and makes it so special. On the surface, Too High is an anti-drug song. Stevie's warning about getting caught up in substances that numb you, that take you away from reality, that destroys communities. But the genius is in how he delivers that message. The music is dreamy, kind of hazy, yet beautiful. The Rhodes electric piano has this warm, sort of floating quality that makes you feel like you're drifting. Those chord progressions I mentioned earlier, well, they're here, and they're sophisticated as hell. They don't go where you expect, constantly shifting and resolving itself in unexpected ways. It's that jazz influence coming through, those freeform moments coalescing with Stevie's pop sensibilities. Stevie's vocal performances are stunning. The lead vocal has this plaintive quality, like he's singing from a place of genuine concern and compassion. And then the harmonies. Layers of Stevie singing with himself, creating this lush, ethereal backdrop. Absolutely gorgeous. The lyrics are direct but not judgmental. You're too high. You can't come down. He's not lecturing. He's observing. He's worried. There's empathy in the way he sings it. And understanding that people turn to drugs for reasons. Pain, escape, systematic oppression. But he's also clear-eyed about the cause. And here's where the song gets really interesting. The breakdown section in the middle of the song gets very experimental. The music gets more disoriented, more chaotic, mirroring the subject material of the lyrics. Being too high, that disoriented, floating feeling that's beautiful but dangerous. The music makes you feel it before Stevie tells you it's a problem. Sophisticated songwriting wrapped in accessible, beautiful music. The jazz elements give Stevie the freedom to explore harmonically and melodically, but the pop structure keeps it grounded. You can enjoy the song just for the sound of it, or you can dig deeper into what he's saying. Either way, it rewards you. Too High might not be the hit single, but it's the perfect example of what Stevie's doing on Innervisions, using his virtuosity and his craft in service of something meaningful. The technique isn't the point. The message is. So, what makes Innervisions endure 50 years later? The social consciousness is urgent. The issues Stevie's addressing, systemic racism, inequality, drugs ravaging communities, the need for spiritual grounding. They haven't gone away. If anything, it feels more relevant now. This album speaks to our moment now just as much as it did in 1973. But it's not just the message. It's the artistry. This is a complete work, meant to be experienced as a journey. The sequencing, perfect. The production, fucking timeless. And Stevie's performance, both technically and emotionally, simply transcendent. This is music that doesn't talk down to you. It trusts you to engage with it, to think about it, and to let it shape you. So, who is this album for? If you love soul music, this is essential. If you're interested in the history of synthesizers and sound production, you really need to listen to what Stevie was doing back in 1973. If you care about socially conscious music that doesn't sacrifice artistry for message, this is a masterclass. But more than that, this is for anyone who wants to understand what one person with complete creative vision can accomplish. This is for anyone who believes that music can be both beautiful and meaningful. This album is for anyone willing to let music challenge them, change them, move them. So, do yourself a favor. Listen to this album front to back without any distractions. Let Stevie take you on the journey the way he intended to. Pay attention to that craft, how one person literally created all of this. But also pay attention to that message. What Stevie's trying to tell you about the world, about humanity and hope, about struggle and transcendence. This is music that rewards deep listening, that reveals itself the more time you spend with it. Innervisions is about using your gifts in service of something greater than yourself. It's about the responsibility that comes with having a voice and a platform. It's about craft and consciousness working together to create something timeless. 50 years later, it still sounds fresh. Still feels urgent. Still has the power to shape who you are if you let it. As always, all thoughts and opinions are of my own or of my team. Thank you so much for being here today. Make sure to go check out Innervisions by Stevie Wonder and make sure to love someone today. I'll check you next time.